Hello everyone. So today we're going to be starting on our project 2006 RMZ 250. I'm going to start by taking all the plastics off the bike. As I'm disassembling this, you're going to see a lot of the fasteners are missing and the plastics aren't in great shape, which we really don't care about because we're replacing all those things. Now, when I bought this bike, the young man that I bought it from said that he had people professionally work on this in the past. That level of work being done on this, I'm not saying they didn't pay someone to work on it, but if you watch as I'm taking this apart, you'll see, like I said, a lot of fasteners are missing, a lot of stuff's mismatched, just not assembled correctly. Now here you guys see me taking the air cleaner out, and you can see that it was really dirty and wasn't fastened properly, allowing dirt down into the engine. And later on, you're going to see some other issues that show just a lack of general care and maintenance for the bike. As you see, I'm taking this apart in my garage. I'm trying not to use a lot of like real high-end tools to do this because I want to show that anybody could do this in their garage. I've done a lot of work to side-by-sides and ATVs, but I haven't done a lot of dirt bikes. So you're going to see me struggle in a couple areas with this. And one of the things that you want to do when you're working on a project like this is you want to try and keep some level of organization, put nuts and bolts in the bags and mark them as you're seeing them doing here, and put nuts and bolts back into where they came from so you can find them again. And just keep everything as organized as you can so that when you go to put it back together, it's really easy to do. Now here you're going to see me drain the coolant from the bike, and you're going to see it's pure water. And as I take some of the stuff apart, I'm going to find quite a bit of rust inside there as well from using straight water. So you want to make sure you're using some type of coolant mix when you're putting coolant back into the bike. And the radiators on this thing are just absolutely destroyed. As you can see, as I'm taking it apart, there's pretty much the cooling hoses are about the only thing holding the radiators into the bike. So my original plan for this bike was to restore it and probably put it in the market. But as I'm working on it, I'm more and more changing my mind, and I'm going to wind up keeping this. So this is going to be something that I'm going to actually ride. So I'm probably going to do things a little bit different than I would if I was to sell this machine. So as you can see, I'm pretty much trying to get the carburetor out here, and you're going to watch me struggle with this part a little bit. Don't know what I was thinking when I was taking this apart, but just kind of made some bad decisions here. The swing arm that actually damaged the swing arm, it kind of ran through the guard there, and then it cut into the actual aluminum and into the bearing. But you won't be able to see that in the video, but I'll show that in another video when I go to remount the new swing arm. Brake assembly off, and then I'm going to go to remove the rear tire. When I do, I'm going to make a big mistake doing it. I'm going to try and kind of take the lazy way out and try and remove it, and it's just not going to work for me. So I'm going to put it back together and try and pull it back apart the right way. So at this point, I'm just trying to get the chain off because it's literally destroyed. Now, I haven't noticed it yet, but as I'm working on the back of the bike, I haven't touched the front of the bike at all. And this is a big mistake because the stand is starting to become unbalanced. And you'll see that shortly in the video. I'm going to change focus randomly to the front of the bike to get the front tire off to help take some of the weight off the front end. Again, here I'm just tearing down the front end, getting the brakes off, getting the front tire off, getting off as much as I can. I got to get it tore down anyway, and I got to get that weight off the front end of the bike to balance the stand back out. Here I am, finally get that swing arm taken off the bike. And again, that thing, I wind up looking at it later and it's just destroyed. So here I am taking off the rear shock, and that whole assembly is pretty much just seized up. So I'm going to have to rebuild all that later, and that's something I'll show in a later video. So at this point, I'm pulling the motor out, and this is the first time I've actually pulled the motor out of a bike before. So something new to me, and not really sure how I'm going to do it. So I'm kind of jumping around all over the place, kind of looking, see what I need to do to take this out. Now that I got the engine out, I'm going to set it on the engine stand, and that pretty much concludes the teardown. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe.